iHeart, get ready. Fantasy football is here. Welcome to the Scout Fantasy Show. ScoutFantasy.com is home to the Fantasy Football World Championships and the best players in the world. Real money winners giving their secrets to help you win. Now exclusively on iHeart. This is the Scout Fantasy Show with your host, the one, the only, Dr. Roto.
Hey there, everybody. It's Dr. Roto. Get out the insurance cards. Get out the copay. The office is open, my friends. Last night, there was a Beat Dr. Roto draft, 10 p.m. Eastern. And let me tell you something. I love this draft. This is my favorite draft I've done this year. I thought the guys in the room were great. And we threw ADP out the window. See ya. Nobody paid attention after like round 2. Bye. We just did what we wanted. And I loved it. It was great. People took guys who they wanted when they wanted. And you know what? That's part of the beauty of fantasy football. Don't be so rigid. Don't be so, if I don't take this guy, what am I going to do? Here, people just, I thought it was a great draft. So I really enjoyed it. There'll be 2 more later on in August. You can find those out at playffwc.com. So let's go through it. Team number 1. Started out with Todd Gurley. And then he came back and took Jordan Howard and Stephon Diggs. This is where the ADPs went out the window. It took Kerryon Johnson at end of round 4. Now, I like the dude, but end of round 4, that's as early as I've ever seen. But let me give you a piece of advice here. If he didn't take him at the end of round 4, the beginning of round 5, he wasn't going to get back to him. So sometimes you have to be proactive in a draft. If you really want a player and you're picking at number 1, you better pick him early because you're not going to get him in the middle. You're going to lose him. So this guy's team overall, he has Wentz, Stafford, and Bortles, and then he took Foles. So that I have a problem with. I'm okay with Wentz and Foles, and if you want to add Stafford, what do you need Bortles for? That made no sense to me. You need 4 quarterbacks? I don't know. Gurley, Howard, Kerryon Johnson, C.J. Anderson, Corey Clement, and John Kelly. I like the running backs a lot. I think some good moves there. The receivers, Diggs, Hogan, Fuller, Stills, Godwin, Allison. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6 receivers. You always want more than 6 receivers. I would have absolutely cut Bortles and picked a receiver there. I think he could have gotten maybe Ted Ginn, James Washington, Mike Wallace. I'm just giving you names. Cole Beasley. Much rather would have had any of those guys than Blake Bortles. And then he took Justin Tucker in the 16th round. Guys, please don't take your kickers in round 15 and 16. It's just not worth it. But love the running backs. He's going to need Godwin and Allison to be real deal. If they are, he's going to be an interesting team. All right, team 2 starts out Elliott, Freeman, McKinnon. Then he goes to Zach Ertz, Josh Gordon, Garcon, Devontae Parker, Allen Hurns, Calvin Ridley. So, oh my God. So let's look at this team here. He waited till round 15 and 16 to take his quarterbacks and took Phillip Rivers and Alex Smith. I have no problem with that. You want to wait till round 15, you get those guys, you're good. Elliott, Freeman, McKinnon, Jones, Breida, Powell, fine with that. I think it's the receiving that's a problem. Josh Gordon's not in camp. Devontae Parker has a broken finger. Allen Hurns, I don't even know if they're going to be throwing the ball in Dallas much. You got Martavis Bryant may get cut. Danny Amendola gets hurt. You got issues there at receiver. Team 2's in trouble. Team number 3, my man Jerry. Jerry starts out with Le'Veon Bell. And then he went Hilton, Thielen, Cooks. Came back with Deion Lewis. I like the start there. So Jerry took Brady in 10. That's great. He's his only quarterback. He's got Bell, Lewis, Lynch, Jordan Wilkins, Latavius Murray, Connor, and Grant. I like it. I like Bell. I like Lewis. I like Lynch. I like Wilkins. I like Murray. That's fine. The receivers, as I mentioned before, Hilton, Thielen, Cooks, Watkins, Marquise Lee. And then he's got Kyle Rudolph and Vance McDonald. This is a solid team from top to bottom. I think Jerry's going to be a tough out this year. If those 3 receivers play well, Jerry could legitimately win this league. Team number 5 took David Johnson, came back and took Mike Evans, then took Gronk in the 3rd. So their team as a whole, Cam Newton in the 10th and Matt Ryan in the 13th. That's fine. David Johnson, Alex Collins, Tevin Coleman, Weak at the running back because then the next one was Devontae Booker. The receivers are Evans, Marvin Jones, Michael Crabtree, Aguilar, DJ Moore. So Josh Doxson, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. This guy took 2 kickers. He took 2 defenses. This is not a best ball league, dude. This is a regular league. You don't need to take the Vikings and the Jaguars. You don't need to take Boswell and Jake Elliott. Had this guy gotten more depth, that would have been a better draft because it wasn't a terrible draft, but from like round 11 on, it was a disaster. And that was the problem. You win leagues from rounds 11 through 20, not rounds 1 through 10. That's my opinion. All right. Team 5 took Alvin Kamara, then A.J. Green, then Travis Kelce. The team as a whole, Deshaun Watson and Derek Carr, no problem. Kamara, Sony Michel, Ty Montgomery, Chris Carson, Eckler, Donta Foreman. Risky, especially if Michel's out. Montgomery, Carson, good. Now that Penny's out, good. A.J. Green, Demaryius Thomas, Corey Davis, Randall Cobb, Anthony Miller, Paul Richardson. Love it. Gets Christian Kirk later. Love it. Love it. Has Kelce, Gesicki, and Ricky Seals-Jones. Love it. Running backs are a little weak, but the rest of the team is very strong. I like this team. All right, Team 6 starts out with Antonio Brown, Bro Mixon, as John Hansen would say, and Kenyon Drake. His team as a whole, he took Drew Brees in round 10. Seemed like round 10 was the quarterback round. Mixon, Drake, Chris Thompson, James White, Buck Allen. It's okay. Got Frank Gore late to cover himself. I would like one more running back. Antonio Brown, Golden Tate, Cooper Kupp, Jordy Nelson, Kelvin Benjamin, Sanu, Ginn. I like those receivers. I do. Njoku and Cameron Brate, I think he's a little weak at tight end. Little weak at running back, little weak at tight end. Love the receivers. Not a bad team. Needs Drew Brees to play well. Took Greg Zuerlein in round 14. Why? Please don't take kickers until like round 17. Please. All right, the visionary roster. I started out with Saquon Barkley and Christian McCaffrey. I know Barkley's injured. I get that, but I think he'll be fine for week 1. So my team as a whole is I have Pat Mahomes and Jared Goff. Not the best quarterbacks, but 2 guys I could use interchangeably. Saquon Barkley, Christian McCaffrey, Royce Freeman, Tariq Cohen, Doug Martin as my running backs. Tyreek Hill, Allen Robinson, Mike Williams, Kenny Golladay, Tyler Lockett, Courtland Sutton, James Washington as my receivers, Greg Olsen, Austin Hooper as my tight end. I need one. I mean, if Mike Williams or Golladay or one of those guys comes through, I like my team a lot. But I'll need one of those guys to come through. Team 8 started out with Leonard Fournette. Love that. Devontae Adams, big fan. Ajayi, okay. Then it got a little a little bit of a mess, and I'll explain. He took Garoppolo in round 10, no problem with that. Fournette, Ajayi, and Mark Ingram in round 4. That was a bit early. His receivers are Adams, Goodwin, Edelman, and Woods. Now, here's my problem. Between Edelman and Ingram, you've got 2 guys who aren't going to be there for the first 4 weeks. Now, look, I like how this team is shaping up toward the end of the season. But if you're 0-4, you're in a hole. You better get to the fantasy playoffs. Now, if he gets to the fantasy playoffs, this dude may win. I'll give him that. But if you're 0-4, you may not get to the fantasy playoffs. And that was why it was too risky. Ingram or Edelman, not both. That's what I would have done. In round 6, he could have had Jordy, he could have had Crabtree, he could have had Watkins, or he could have had Alex Collins. I think I would have taken Collins over Ingram. That probably would have been my move. All right, team number 9 takes Kareem Hunt, then comes back with Allen Fitzgerald and Amari Cooper. On a whole, he takes Cousins and Roethlisberger. Hunt, Jamal Williams, Nyheim Hines, Gio Bernard. Yikes. The receivers are great. Allen, Fitzgerald, Cooper, Robbie Anderson, Funches, Dez Bryant, D.D. Westbrook. Those are good, but the running backs are not. Can't win without running backs, even though he has Jimmy Graham as a good tight end there. Team number 10 has Andrew Luck and Marcus Mariota. Takes Luck in round 10. Like I said, round 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quarterbacks went. His running backs are LaShawn McCoy, Rex Burkhead, Isaiah Crowell, Carlos Hyde. We got issues. But his receivers are phenomenal. Hopkins, Thomas, Schuster, Juju, Jamison Crowder. Good 4 receivers. I just think I don't know. I can't blame him. I think that the Rex Burkhead was dicey, but it could work out. It's not a bad team. It's got Trey Burton, who I do like. You know, if Hyde or Crowell or Burkhead play well, he's got a shot. All right, Team 11 starts out with Melvin Gordon and Julio Jones-Roto. He takes Aaron Rodgers in round 5. I have no problem with that, especially because 5 or 6, he's not getting him after that. His team is Melvin Gordon and Derrick Henry, Ronald Jones, Marlon Mack, LeGarrette Blount. Not bad. Julio Jones, Jarvis Landry, Emmanuel Sanders, Sterling Shepard, Cameron Meredith. Not bad. Jack Doyle, Tyler Eifert, and Ben Watson. Why do we need 3 tight ends? I don't get that. But I think this team top to bottom is pretty solid. I like the job there. And then finally, Team 12 has Russell Wilson and Dak Prescott. I like that. Dalvin Cook, Lamar Miller, Rashad Penny, who did get hurt. Duke Johnson, Nick Chubb. I like Nick Chubb in round 10. I had my eye on him there. The receivers, Odell Beckham, Doug Baldwin, Alshon Jeffrey, Michael Gallup, Keelan Cole. Not a bad team there. Took a shot on Jordan Reed and a shot on George Kittle. It's okay. Not my favorite team, but certainly could compete. So for the most part, I think this was a really good draft. People did things outside the box. They took chances, and I hope that it's a really successful season. It's a very smooth draft. We were done in less than 2 hours, so I appreciate everybody taking part in the Beat Dr. Roto draft. All right. Great site for you, mockdraftnow.com, mockdraftnow.com. I was talking to one of my very good friends yesterday, and I said, I got a site for you, mockdraftnow.com. He goes, well, I do Draft Wizard. I was like, dude, the same thing as Draft Wizard on Fantasy Pros, except you can get $2,500 if you have the best team. He's like, oh, maybe I'll look at it. Why wouldn't you look at it? Why wouldn't you just go there right now? Why not mock draft and maybe make money? What if you're the best team? I know I won a few $100s last year on the mock draft site. I'd like the, 5th, 6th, 7th best team, something like that. Worth it. What was I doing? I was mocking, I made money. Hello? Come on, guys. All right, I'm very excited to announce, I will announce my newest Roto Child tonight and the Visionary Coach on FantasySportsRadio.com, 7 p.m. Eastern. Remember, ScoutDFS.com. Check it out, ScoutFantasySports.com. We have all the information that you need to win your fantasy football leagues. But right now it's time to put away the insurance cards, put away the copay. The office is closed, my friends. Back with more tomorrow. This is Dr. Roto saying be well. Take care.
Thanks for listening to the Scout Fantasy Show. There's never been a better time to join the Scout Army. Visit scoutfantasy.com. Use the promo ROTO for 2 months free. And don't forget, fantasy players, please thumbs up the podcast on the iHeart app. See you next time. Go Scouts!